Okay, my name is Eric Deloach, and I'm a book author, of course, and I'm also host of Black Authors and Others. We have a special guest here today, a Black American author, Black female American author. By definition, she's a role model for Black females, for Black males, and for 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 white females and white males, for anybody. So we're very privileged to have her today. What we're going to do is allow her to introduce herself and tell us the title of the first book, and then we'll start asking her some questions from there. So with no further ado, let me allow you to introduce yourself and tell us about tell us the title of your current book.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Theresha Roberts, and the title of my current book that's out now is called All My Strength Comes From Above. And it's a 31-day life reflection journal. You can write in it as well. You read and you can write what you get out of it.
Okay. How long have you been a book author? How long have you been a book author?
Well, my first book just came out in May, but I've been writing for years.
Okay.
I've been writing for years. It started with my father. My late father used to always tell me, you're the type that you're going to have to always have a pen, a pencil, crayon, whatever, a piece of paper, book to write, because God is always going to be talking to you. Okay. That was the first person that told me that, and then, and then it was like, I kept hearing in my spirit, like, write the book. And I'm like, write the book? Like, who wants to write a book about themselves? And in fact, I was writing all the time. God was giving me the life reflections all the time. And actually, it was a guy that I'm dating, and he was like, would you just write the book? And I'm like, okay. And then a classmate of mine I went to grad school with, she was like, you need to write a book. And I'm like, write a book? Okay, I got it. So it was all the life reflections that God had given me to help me. And I just was sharing them with other people. And I made a book.
Okay. I guess.
Here it is. Here's the book. It's on 5-star. It comes in black and white. It comes in color. It's on Amazon and it's on Kindle. They're holding 5 stars. And so that's pretty much that. I can go into details. Basically, what it is like God might give me a scripture like Proverbs 16:3. It says, commit your work to the Lord and your plans will be established. And then I say, well, what the point is this: God is an active part of everything we do. And we make a mistake to separate them. After all, if I really don't believe God is interested in where I live or what I'll do for a living, why should I bother to consult him about them? And then note to self says, when he has his way in your life, you begin to make plans and decisions that are pleasing to him. And that brings a whole host of benefits, not the least of which is the peace of God. Stay focused, and that's the whole point of staying focused. And then on this part here is what you get out of what you read. And the question is, have I committed my life to God? Do I lean on him and for advice when faced with hard times on my job or hard times in life, period? Do we lean on God? And then my other thing I always say is trust him. Do we really trust God? I also always say, if you're going to pray, don't worry. And if you're going to worry, there's no need to pray.
Right. Let me go here. I have a mask on, some dental issues, so just pardon me for that. But I didn't want to miss the interview, your interview, or anybody else's interview. Didn't want to miss your interview. Let's start right here, like I normally start. Tell me where you were born. And
Okay.
where did you grow up?
Okay. I was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I grew up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
Um, I was born and raised in North Philly, and
Okay.
then we moved to West Philadelphia.
Okay.
And so that's where I am. I'm the youngest girl of 6 children.
Okay.
My parents had 6 children,
Hmm.
four girls and 2 boys.
Okay.
And I'm the youngest girl.
Okay. And tell me, I can imagine because I lived in New York for 16 years. And I also live in Athens now, Athens, Georgia, where I'm originally from.
Mm,
But born in Elberton, Georgia. But I can tell you that both any one of those environments could create a book author. Like in Athens, it's not as many people, 125,000 people, and it's
mm,
laid back. That could create creativities. And then
mm,
if I was born in New York or raised in New York as well, then reared in New York as well, that the hustle and bustle can bring creativity. So
mm.
what would you say about Philadelphia? Very historic place in American history and a very great place. What would you say? How did that influence you in becoming an author?
Well, what influenced me really in being what made me write was life issues.
Okay.
Um, Being that was born and raised in Philadelphia, and then I had to move. I got married, and I had to move down to Elkton, Maryland,
Okay.
and I was away from my family.
Hmm.
I was married, thought I was, you think you get married one time, you set goals and things for yourself, and things just don't pan out that way.
Okay.
So, and then my daughter was born prematurely. And so I
Okay.
had to move away from my support system and to get a peace of mind so that God can work on me, because I really had became bitter, and
Right.
my heart was hardened. And
Hmm.
so I started, I really, I would hear God talk to me, and I, like, read your Bible. And I had stopped reading my Bible. I
Hmm.
had it open, but I wasn't reading it,
Right.
and so little things that I went through being down there, being away from my support system, my parents, my siblings, friends and other family members. And so I got to writing. And
Okay.
the life reflections that I got to write, and God given me scriptures to help me, like the 23rd Psalm, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, things of that nature. And
Right.
then he says, what did you get out of it?
Hmm.
And that's what made me become a writer. I will write poetry,
Right.
from, being in a dark place, being in a dark place,
Hmm.
depression brings about a lot of things.
Okay.
I don't know if it's depression or if it's desperation, you know what I
Okay.
mean? But it brings
Right.
about a lot of things, and it helps you,
Right.
some people, it helped me. And right. And I said, well, if I can, my motto is, if I can live my life helping someone else other than myself, my living shall not be in vain. And so
Absolutely.
I would always write and write, and I would write them. And then that's how I became, an author. I was always writing.
Okay.
And it's so funny. I shared with my daughter just the other day. It's so
Hmm.
funny how God will take something that you don't like
Hmm.
and make it something that you good at doing, because I
Okay.
didn't like writing. You know what I mean? I mean,
Wow.
in school, my best subject was math. I always was good at math, but writing English is like,
Right.
like, I just didn't like writing. But then when I look at it, and my friends and stuff would say to me, girl, you always can put words together. I'm
Mm.
the same thing that I didn't like turned out to be my best friend. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Which is writing, because
Mhm.
I really didn't like writing, but
Right.
I found myself writing all the time. I find myself in journaling and writing down your thoughts and writing down stuff. It helps you. It helps release, because sometimes, in all honesty, you don't want to the only one you share with is God. You don't want to share with other people because people judge you. People, you know what I mean? People,
Right.
sometimes you just don't want nobody opinion. You just want to hear yourself vent. You know what I
Right.
mean? So you find yourself writing it down.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that's what happened, you know.
But tell me, you said, let me say this, you said something, excuse me, pardon me. You mentioned from the onset that your father encouraged you. He was the person that encouraged you. So tell me about, now, are you African American on both sides? Are you? No, let me just say this: Are you African American and Caribbean? Are you African American and a family member that's Africa from Africa?
Okay. So let me explain to you.
Yeah.
I'm mixed up here. My father was Cherokee Indian and Polish. My mother is my mom is Mexican, and my mom is Mexican, and then they have you know, and they're African American. You know? So it's like when you know, so we all have a little bit of something. None of us is full bred of anything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I have, you know, I have a little bit of a lot of stuff inside of me. You know what I mean?
Did beautiful. Did any of those cultures, do you think that played a hand in creativity? Did your mother, from her heritage, was there anybody that was writing or poetry or storytelling from your dad's side, with his writing poetry or storytelling, even if it wasn't on a professional level, it's just something that was in the culture?
My father was a writer as well. My dad was a writer as well. His mother wrote, you know, my mom journals a lot. So my mom, she's 84 years old, and my mom still get up and write every day. And so, yeah, so I do come from a history of, when I look back at it, you know, writers. I never thought that I would be one, like I said. And my dad, he put that in me. I guess, you know, your parents knows. He saw a gift that I had. He saw gifts that I had that God, first of all, that God spoke to me, because it was some things that I would share with him and say to my mom when I was little. You know what I mean? Or what I didn't, you know I would hear things and I would tell them, you know what I mean? And my dad listened, you know, and so that's why he said to me, you're the type, you have to keep a pen, a crayon, he said, a marker. He said, because God is going to be speaking with you, you know, and that's what my dad told me. And then when he said it, I'm like, huh? You know, like you younger than you, like, what are you, you know, you walk away like, what is he? But now there's like so many things that my father instilled in me. It's like, oh, I got it, Daddy. I got it. You know what I mean? Like, but I thank God that he did, that I had that, the earthly father that I had, and he instilled in things, and that they were instilled in here. And so when things happen that he said to me, or things come about, it's like, you know, like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, wow, what a blessing, you know?
What a blessing. Now, did he write a book?
My dad wrote poetry. Actually, I came across some poems and stuff that my dad wrote. Wrote, and it was very, actually, my dad had wrote one. It's very profound. I found it like 2 weeks ago. I was going through a storage, cleaning out a storage that I had. It was very profound, and it was something similar to what I said about, he spoke about how people share things and say things to you. Your parents say things to you when they living, and you don't comprehend, or you don't take it in, or you don't take it seriously. But then when they going, it's like, wow, I got it. And I was like, wow, and, you know, it made a teardrop. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, wow, you know, like, just like Marvin Gaye, when you look and listen to his music, what's going on is what's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? And you like, wow, you know, it's like, and I'm sure the same thing is going to happen when I'm no longer here.
Okay.
And I, you know, and my writings and stuff, people won't be like, some people like, wow, they got it now. But some people, and some things that I instill in my daughter, I know she, when I'm no longer here, is going to be like, wow, you know, like my mom said that, you know, because God speaks to us all.
Yes.
But sometimes we all don't listen, but he speaks to us all, you know,
Right.
and, you know, and when someone shares something with you or prophesy to you, if nothing out of the norm should catch you off guard, because God been already trying to tell you anyway. You just wasn't paying him no attention. So he either sent his word through someone or something. You know what I mean?
So tell me this right here. What because it lines up. What was some famous sayings from either your mother or father? Like, for example, my mother, she'll say, do everything in moderation. That's a saying that she would, and you heard something like that. Dad would say, don't let anybody catch you. He passed away, but he said, don't let anybody catch you in a bad light, something to that effect. Were there any famous family sayings? Your father had something that kind of stood with you that he said, or either your mother also, did she have something, a saying, and you like, that stuck with me, that makes sense.
Right. My mom saying always was, it's easy to get in trouble and hard to get out.
Okay.
And my father's was always, he had a few, it was pay attention to your surroundings.
Okay.
Pay attention to your surroundings. And he would always say, oh, just slipped my mind. Pay attention to your surroundings, excuse me.
No, take it down.
And he would also say, like, your word, only thing you have is your word. Okay. If a person can't go by your word, they can't. So try to don't break promises. Don't make promises you can't keep. Okay. And be honest. Be honest, he said. And you know, and it was and he all, and you know, it was a lot of things my dad instilled to me, like, just because your relatives is your relatives don't mean they won't be jealous of you. You know what I mean? About when you work for people, you know, all they want to know is all your business, tell you none of their business, because the only thing you good for is to run their business. You know what I mean? So my father would, you know, say things, and it's like, when I work for people, it was like, okay, now that I work for myself, you know, I guess my father was saying, work for yourself. You know, what you're doing for somebody else, you can do for yourself. You know what I mean? So, and my dad was good on entrepreneurship, you know, like, be your own entrepreneur, have your own, the blood, sweat, and tears that you put into somebody else's, you can put into your own, you know? So, you know, it's a lot of things now that you say that, it's just like coming back, like different things that he would say, which he instilled. Your parents instill good values in you. If you have good parents, and if you are a good listener, you know, because when you lose a parent, like you lost your dad, I lost my dad. When you lost a parent, it's only one or two things you want to do. You gonna poop or you gonna get off that pot. You know what I mean? It's gonna make you or it's gonna break you. And the things that they said back then, you was like, what are they saying that for? It don't make any sense. But now that your dad and my dad not here, and the things that they said that didn't make sense to us back then, make sense to us a lot now. Help us to make it right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, do you remember anything from any grandmother or grandfathers, anything they said?
Well, I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to meet my mother's parents because they both died in a car accident when she was younger. So I didn't get a chance to meet them. Right. My father's dad, I remember my papa, but I don't remember, you know, like the conversation. My grandmother, you know, my grandmother always used to say, you know, like, don't take no crap from nobody. Like, and then my grandmother was white, you know, she was Polish, you know, and so it was always, don't take no crap, you know, don't take no crap from nobody, stand up and don't give up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and it's so funny because I used to go down and my grandmother lived in Center City, Philadelphia. And I would go down when I was like a teenager, like 12, 13, 11. I would go down, you know, and because back then you could travel by yourself. Heck, we could
Okay.
go in the store and do certain things, buy certain things that they can't buy now in the store back then.
Okay.
Anywho, I used to go down and meet my grandmother for brunch. And one day I was walking with my grandmother in Center City and I had my arm wrapped around hers. So this white man came over to us and he said to my grandmother, "Are you okay?" And my grandmother said, "Yeah, I'm okay." He said, "Yeah, mine just popped up too. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, let's see. What is this? Okay, I think I can get this off. There, I got it off. Okay.
So he was like, "Are you okay?" And my grandmother was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." So he put his head over and was like, "No, are you okay?" And my grandmother was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." "Oh, you're talking about my granddaughter." He was like, "Sorry." She was like, "You are sorry. You sorry." I'm not going to say what she said, but that, you know, it wasn't until that in Kelsey, ignorant children just don't, children, like you see a black child and a white child, a Chinese child, Indian child, and they play together. It's not until some ignorant behind a Dell shine light on the situation that they're different ethnics, that they're black, they're white. You know what I mean? Because children are like God. He just see children. He don't see no race, no creed, no color. He's no respecter of person. So I know that was my grandmother. I didn't care if she was white. It doesn't matter because that was my Nana. It wasn't until that situation what that man did that kind of hurt me. You know what I mean? Because it was like, it made me.
What was he trying to say?
I guess he thought I was robbing her because I had my arm wrapped around hers and we was walking across the street, you know, talking. And he just came over minding our business, stopped us in the middle of the street and was like, "Are you okay?" And my grandmother like, "Yeah, I'm okay." He's like, "No, are you okay?" Bending his head over to me like that. You know, my grandmother was like, "Oh, you mean my granddaughter?" You know what I'm saying? And she was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. She's gorgeous, isn't she?" He was like, "I'm sorry." And my grandmother just went off, you know, but, you know, so, it doesn't, to me, it's good and bad in all of us. It doesn't matter what race, what creed, what color, what sex you are, because it's good and bad in all of you. Because just like a black man can treat you good, a white man can treat you good, an Indian man can treat you good. You know what I mean? And then when we use the N-word, anybody could be the N-word. You know what I'm saying? Because that's an ignorant person. You know? And so, you know, anybody can write, anybody can hear God. Anybody could be a business owner. Anybody can do anything they want to do if they choose to do it, you know?
You're very inspiring. You're very inspiring. So now tell me, let's talk about the book, but we talk about other stuff too. But tell us again the title of the book and just give us a taste, just a little bit so we can go out there and buy it.
Okay, so again, the name of the book is called All My Strength Comes From Above. It's a 30-day life reflection journey to overcome stressful times. So I'll share one more with you, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this one is Psalm 23:4. "Yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod, thy staff, thy comfort me." The point is this: trust in his process should be a way of life. In everything you do, you must trust God every part of your life. Note to self: I do not know where this day may lead me, but I do know who is leading my day. God, I surrender all. I'm surely focused, you know. So, and then you write in it, you say, "In what ways can I allow God to be a part of my life even more?" You know, and then you can just write on it. So yeah. you know?
So-
So that's just a few things. Every morning I have learned, like I was talking to God today,
right.
and if I have to go speak somewhere or whatever, I
Mhm.
normally try to take that whole day or
Mhm.
the night before and the whole day and just try to meditate and stay focused and just hear
Mhm.
what God has to say.
Mhm.
Because I say, God, let the words that I hear be your words and not mine. You know, because
Right.
I want him to get the glory, not me. Because
Right.
basically, I take no credit. I'm just was a willing, open vessel. This is all God. This is all him. This is all what he instilled into me. I'm not the smart one. He is. I'm
Okay.
not the great one. He is. You know, so before I start my day every day, what I say is, good morning, God. How can I help you today?
Okay.
Not coming with, how can I help you today? You know
Okay.
what? And now I'm 50, I'm 55 years old. I'll be
Okay.
56. So
Okay.
my thing now is I don't have no more time for me. I wasted that time. Now
Okay.
my time is for God. What
Okay.
can I do to help someone else? What can I do to bring a smile upon somebody's face? No, I can't save them all, but if I can make a difference in one or two life, then I'm cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's just where I'm at in life. And you know, we fight against things that we can't see, let alone things that we can see. And
Mhm.
I know that sometimes people get jealous, people get
Right.
envy, and that's keeping it real. And they try to come
Mhm.
at you with all kinds of things, and all kinds of things try to come your way. But you
Mhm.
just got to stay focused. You got to stay focused, and you got to trust this process. You know,
Right.
and sometimes it's people that you don't even think that it should be that cause you the problems, but it do be. You know,
That's right.
people
That's right.
that you help, people that you kind of laid your life on the line for, people that you gave your all to, those are the ones. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be somebody that say they a minister or whatever, because the devil go to church too.
That's
That's why
right.
you got to have a personal relationship with God, because you got to know him for yourself. You know, because the devil do get up on that pulpit, preaching in the name of Jesus, casting
Mhm.
out his own kind, trying to make a mockery out of God. So you got to be careful. You got to have a relationship with God yourself, and you got to know him for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. Look,
Yeah.
so the book is you write, you had scriptures that were personal to you,
Mhm.
and then you kind of explain it for the public.
Right. And I break it down and I explain it to them in layman terms, as you would say. So I
Right.
would break it down what the point is, and then a note to self. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, and then is a journal, like, and then you write down, I ask you a question and you write down things like, one of them might be, you know you're not perfect. In what ways can you strengthen your relationship with God?
Okay.
What ways can you strengthen your relationship with Christ? Which way you got it? Well, in any relationship, what strengthen anything is communication.
Right.
The lack thereof, lack of communication causes chaos.
Right.
You know, like with a relationship,
Mhm.
it's communication. If you're
Mhm.
not communicating with me, you're
Right.
communicating with somebody. So if you
Right.
ain't communicating with me, then we don't have no relationship. You know
Right.
what I mean? If you're not spending time with me, then we
Right.
don't have no relationship. You whoever you spending time with, that's who you got a relationship with. Either it's yourself or whomever. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's what it's all about. Communication. You know,
Right.
and what breaks things down? The lack thereof, the lack of communication. You know?
You're great, a good, very good speaker as well. So
Thank you.
good, very good with words. Well, a master's wordsmith. But for real,
If you say so, if
yeah,
you say
I
so.
feel it. You'd be a good songwriter too.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I got some of them songs. I got some songs.
Yeah, you do sound like a songwriter too, boy. So,
Okay.
but it's okay. Back to the book. The book is you write. I'm just getting a better understanding of it. And I want the audience to get understanding. And I want the audience to go get the book. Um,
Right.
is you wrote down scriptures that you feel that were important. Then you explain it. And then you have an extra thing to where you talk to whoever's reading the book and try to help them to improve their relationship with God.
Right, right. Improve their relationship with God, their relationship with themselves, their relationship with situations, you know. So basically a scripture, then
Right.
what's the meaning of the scripture, then
Right.
with the note to self, you know, something that with yourself, and then a question to yourself. Like I asked a question like, what are my God-given abilities? And or how can I build upon them today? You know, what gifts do I have and how can I build upon them? You know, those are things that you write. You know, the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. You
Right.
know, like people have, you know, a to-do list. You
Right.
know, people have a bucket list. You write that down. People have a vision board. You know,
Right.
if I can write it, then I can see it.
Right.
And if I can see it, I can achieve it.
That's right.
You know, and that makes me believe it. You know what I
Right.
mean? So if you ain't right, and if you don't see nothing from nothing leaves nothing, you
Right.
gotta have something.
Right.
God said, if you want to be with me. So we gotta have a relationship.
Right.
We gotta communicate. You know,
Right.
my relationship with God is like this, but my
Right.
relationship with people is like
Right.
this. You know,
Right.
it comes from him to me and it goes out to the people. I could have kept it to myself, but what
Right.
good could it do? You know,
Right.
what good? It's no good if it's all for you. That's selfish. I don't
true.
want to be selfish. I just spoke to God today because I honestly said to him, I understand why Jesus wept.
Okay.
I understand how Jesus felt. This
Right.
walk with God is a lonely walk,
Okay.
but I'm not alone because
Okay.
he's with me.
Right.
I'm not alone. It's a lonely walk, but I'm not alone. You know what
That's
I'm
true.
saying?
I
And
know
I
what you're saying.
understand why I understood why Jesus wept, because Jesus was loving, Jesus was caring, Jesus was kind, Jesus gave his all to people. And he
Right.
did all that to people, and people still ain't like him. They
That's true.
said they did, but they didn't. They did
Yeah.
things to hurt them because they was hurt themselves.
Right.
Because hurt people hurt people. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
And so I can honestly, because Jesus could have got away,
Right.
but he trusted God's process and he stayed the course. But
That's
he
right.
could have got away. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And people feel it, but I can really understand. I understand how God feels, because this pandemic, he shut it down to help save some of us.
Okay.
Shut
Okay.
it down. He
Right.
shut it down.
Right.
And people they still don't get it. You had time to spend with him. You had
Right.
time to get yourself together, and you still ain't get it.
That's right.
You still ain't get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I understand how he feels. They say
Right.
that we in his image, we get tired. So you can imagine how he feels.
That's
Can
right.
you imagine how he feels? And he still blesses these ungrateful children that he created. He touch us every day, wake us up, start us on our way, give us movement of our limb, articulation of our speech, and we still ain't satisfied.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? Bring good people in your life, you still ain't satisfied.
That's right.
Take people out your life, you still ain't satisfied.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? So, that's all I can say. We are some of the most ungrateful creatures living
true.
on earth. You know,
That's true.
we take him for granted. We take each other for granted. We just assume that everything is, and then one day it's just too late. Because we
That's
all
right.
gonna leave here.
That's
We
true.
all gonna leave here. You know
That's
what I
right.
mean?
That's
But guess
true.
what though? You know what hit me the other day?
What's that?
And I shared it with my mom.
Okay.
Mommy, I'm a legend
Okay.
because I got a book.
All right.
And even when I ain't work, when there's no more humans walking the earth, my book's still here.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I mean? And it hit me how good God is to me, because he felt that I'm special to him, that I'm just that special to him, that he used me.
Right.
to bring about this book, you know, and I'm so grateful. I'm
Mhm.
so grateful to him that
Mhm.
he's seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. I'm
Right,
so grateful to him that he used me. And I'm really grateful that I got it, that I
right,
knew that I got it, that I answered the call,
right,
because I didn't let my 55 years use me, but I utilized my 55 years. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
Well, first of all, I think that's a great book, and I see that it. I think if you go to conferences, religious conference, I'm in 2 or 3 weeks. I'm interviewing a pastor, and I'll tell him about the book. You
Thank you
know,
so
for his
much.
congregation, and if there's conferences and stuff, I think Christian conferences, that'll be a great place.
Thank you.
That because it's definitely inspirational and it's helping people. And then what you were saying, that there's a proverb that I heard on the internet, about a Jewish proverb, that everybody should write a book, have a son, and plant a tree.
Mhm.
Just a Jewish proverb. So
Okay.
you know, I mean, if you just break it down, that no matter what happens from this point on, you know, you are your voice. You got your voice out with God. You
Yeah.
got your voice
Yeah.
out, and nobody can take that away from you.
That's right. That's right. That's
And if you're able to market correctly, and that your publishing company markets correctly, when you're asleep, you're making money. You
right.
know what I'm saying? People buying your
Right.
book. My
Right.
first book sold in Italy.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, that I couldn't have made that happen. It was on Amazon, and the first book that I
Right.
sold of my book that's out now was sold in Italy. So it things can happen. Things
Right.
can things can happen. Let's tell us about this the other book briefly, the new book, if you want to say
The
anything about
new
the second book.
the second book is actually is I have it up on my web page, by the way, and then my web page is easy. It's Theresha, you spell that THERESHA.com. They said
Yeah,
just make it simple so people get it's just my name.com. And if
yeah,
you go up on my web page, my new book is showing, and I'm also it's running through my story on Facebook too, and Instagram. I'm sorry. And
no,
it's
go ahead.
called, oh wait a minute, I'm trying to turn this volume down. Sorry. It's called Life Can Be a Bed of Roses If You Trust Them. I don't see if you can
Okay,
see.
life can be a bed of roses if you trust him. Okay, yeah.
Right. That's what my new book look like. So,
Okay, so
and it's
it's another spiritual religious book. I mean,
right.
a Christian book, if you will.
Yes, yes, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Yep.
okay,
So you're right, spiritual. You know what I mean? Spiritual, because you gotta be spiritual. You
right,
know what
right,
I mean? And that's what it all is all about. We're spiritual beings
right,
trying to be human beings in this
right.
game called life. And that's where it gets crazy. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
yeah,
But no, you're right. It's a Christian book, and you're
okay.
absolutely right.
If
And
is it similar to the first book, or
it's
does
similar to the verse book. Yes, it's similar. It's the same thing, the same concept.
so you're sharing more scripture?
We're sharing more scripture, breaking it down, because some people they'll read it, but they don't understand it. So the
Okay,
way I do it is I break it down to them what that scripture meant. What's the point of that particular scripture? What's
okay,
the point? You know
yeah,
what I mean? What it is. And then it's like a note to self,
right,
and then I'll break that down. And then I'll ask you a question, and then you write what you got out of it.
right.
What can you do to make it better for yourself? How can
Definitely.
you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
great. So tell me. Well, okay. So tell me, who are there any famous authors or people in the arts that influence that are role models to you, that kind of influence you as a writer, as a person of the arts? Because you're a lady of the arts. Who are there any other authors or anybody that influence or role
No,
models to you?
well, Maya Angelou,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
I look with Maya Angelou, You
Yeah.
know, when I look back over my life and then my style of writing and how I write, I would say Maya Angelou. I
Yeah.
would say she, you know, she, it might not have made sense to some people, but it makes sense. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because she
Yeah.
was just straightforward and straight up. You know,
Yeah.
Cicely Tyson, you know,
Okay.
people didn't know Cicely Tyson was a writer, but some of the quotes that she said,
I didn't know that.
and believe it or not, another one, it was Helen Keller, the
Okay.
writer, Helen Keller, you know, because when I graduated from actually when I did I got my master's degree from
Okay.
Lincoln University grad
Yeah.
school. I graduated from Lincoln, and I
Okay.
used one of her quotes in doing my writing.
Okay.
And you know, and is so I would say Helen Keller, I would
Right.
say Maya Angelou,
Yes.
and I would say Cicely Tyson.
Beautiful. 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 Now, what is your process of writing? I heard one person that I interviewed, they said that it was they would have a outline, kind of come up with some type of title, somewhat maybe an outline, and then they write in it. Then I had another person tell me they just started writing. They didn't, okay, I gotta write, and they just started writing. What is your process when you write?
My process of when I write in this particular is I hear a
Mhm.
scripture pop up in my head.
Okay.
Matthew 7, verse 27, or
Hmm.
whatever Proverbs, and whatever the verse is, and it pop up in my head. I'll get the Bible, I'll read it, and then it's like, gosh, what did you get out? Now, what did you get out of that? You know,
Right.
because in all you get, and you best get understanding. When you read it, what are you getting out of it? And then I break it down, you know,
Mhm.
and then I just go from there. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Now, tell me about what do you think about as a established book author, as a book author? What do you think about auto books? And I have another question after that, but let me see what you think about auto books.
Auto books.
Yeah, to where somebody is reading the book.
Read it to you. I do it. I do when I actually I do. I listen to the Bible at
Right.
night, like or in the morning if I get up and I want to listen to the Bible and I'm too tired to read it. I
Right.
put it on. I'll say, "Hey Alexa," or "Hey Google," or whomever, or my phone, and I put it on where read to me. I love it. I love it.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
I love it. My book is on Kindle as well. Now you
Okay.
can't get the full effect on Kindle because it's a journal.
Okay.
But
Right.
you know
Right.
what I mean? Some books is good, some books ain't, but you can hear what it's saying. So I love it. I love the concept of that because it
Okay.
really, because even if you get tired, it's still reading to your spirit, man. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
And are you your any of your books in auto is it set up like that to where either you read the book or somebody else read the book?
No, I didn't do that yet, and I want to. So if that's something you could do, since God partnered us together, that's something you can help me with.
I'm not the one, but I think that your book should be, because you can just probably find somebody on Pfizer or
Mhm.
either Craigslist or what. Just look around on the internet. I think that it should be, because it's an inspirational book.
Okay.
And one time my mother was in assisted living, but I'm a caretaker for her here. But
Thank
but
God.
but I know, like,
Thank God she got you as a son. Thank
yeah,
God.
yeah,
Thank God.
yeah. But I know, like, when I was visiting when she was there, they
Uh,
have different activities, and I think your type of book was very
uh,
inspirational. That would be
mhm.
perfect for them, the older
Yeah,
crowds, to hear. And I
right.
think it's also good for young kids too, that can understand, maybe 6, 7, or 8, that can kind of
Mhm,
comprehend,
mhm,
to get them to light reading, and then to get them thinking about Christ. That if
right.
they can hear that, especially teenagers, because that's a kind of a rough time for everybody. If
Mhm,
they can just have an audio of something, I mean, like your book, and just they already were taught by their parents about Christ, but then maybe when they become middle school and high school, you know, you want to follow the crowd, you know,
Right.
and you kind of,
Right.
God is not cool, Jesus is not cool, that type of vibe. But
Mhm,
if they can just hear it, that
mhm.
can bring them, you know, prevent them from making unnecessary mistakes.
Right, right,
So
right.
I think your book would be is perfect for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm definitely going to look into that and talk to and see what I can do, because that is something that's one of the goals that I do want to do, because I know that helps me. Like I said, when I'm tired and I just want to close my eyes and just hear someone reading the Bible to me. And
Mhm.
even though I might drift off to sleep, it's my spirit man is still hearing what's going on. You know what I mean? And still can, it can get down in my soul, you know?
That's
And
true.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's it. You. I think I'm correct. You're a published author. You're not a. Are you an independent author or published author? It doesn't matter. But I'm just curious. And I guess
I'm
the public is too. And I
right.
think the public is curious too.
Right. No, I'm a personal, I have a publishing company behind me, but
Okay.
but I'm a personal, you know what I mean? But I do have a publishing, I have a, like I wrote it and the publisher put it together and all that
Okay.
stuff for me. You know what I mean? But yeah, but basically it's all mine.
Okay.
You
Okay.
follow what I'm saying?
Now,
Right.
did you? My case, I
Mhm.
wrote the book, and I got some more books coming out. Um, did you do your own editing, or did you have somebody else do the kind of the
No,
book editing?
the publishing company edited for me.
Okay.
She edited for me. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have had a great experience with the publishing company.
Yeah, I had a great. She's good.
Okay.
It grew a sisterhood. She's an author herself as well,
Right.
so it grew a sisterhood.
Hmm.
And she's this. Like the second book is out, and
Yeah.
she helps me get me out of my comfort zone. The
Hmm.
third book the third book is almost done, but the fourth
Okay.
book they want me to start writing about me, like how did I get here, like
Okay.
talk about my life, how I got here. So the fourth
Right.
book is going to be about me, and then I'll
Okay.
go back to the life reflection. You know what I mean? So yeah, but who want to write about themselves? But I guess people want
People
to
might want
know.
to hear an
Yeah,
inspirational story,
right,
and I
right. And
think that go ahead.
go
I
ahead.
think becoming a book author, especially as a Black American in particular,
Mhm,
that that's a success because
mhm.
you and I both know as authors, it's it's one thing to say you want to become a book author. It's another thing to make that happen. It's a lot of work behind the scenes.
Yes, yes, it is. It is. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It really truly is a lot of work. And when speaking to the public, and I started, I was like, about myself, then they started asking me questions, and and they was like, wow, that book is going to be awesome, just by the things that I was saying to them. You know what I mean? And if you honest and you truthful, it's gonna be easy. It's hard to sit there and write about yourself, because you got to type now. It's easy if you say, okay, I can speak into a microphone, or I can speak into a tape recorder and let it tape, or get a Dragon speak or something, which I think I might invest into a Dragon speak, and therefore I can just speak it and it can just type it. But it's kind of uncomfortable writing about yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I have to do it. I
Right.
have to do it, and
Right.
I'm going to do it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah. Okay. And what was your process to get published? I mean, aspiring artists,
Well,
book authors.
one of the I'm sorry for cutting you off. A
Understand?
young lady, like I said, I went to grad school with,
Right.
and she introduced me to the publishing company because
Okay.
she used it for her book.
Okay.
And she had wrote a book about a self-help book about people that suffer with depression and things. So then she was like, you need to write the book. She called me Miss Theresha. You need to write the book. Them things is beautiful. And it's inspiring. You need to write a book. And then she just gave me the lady's number and the publishing company number, and I called her, and we became a family ever since then. you know, so now we're on book number 2, you
No,
know.
no. What was the process? I mean, like did the introduction, and then you
She
got
gave
you.
me, I'm
Go ahead.
sorry, go
No, go
ahead.
ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, this I'm just trying to figure out just to hear so that aspiring book authors, if they were going to write a publishing, I'm an independent author, but how what was the process? You said that somebody introduced you know your work or you to the publisher that they were already published on. What were the steps that got you
Oh,
signed and stuff like that?
so you know how you know, like you said, everybody say they author, but everybody ain't. So you know, it's like an interview.
Okay.
And she interviewed me, and she spoke with me, and she, you know, she heard what I had to say, and then I send her my work, which you know, you be kind of like, oh, send somebody my, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's
anywho,
your baby.
you know, she interviewed me, right? She interviewed me. I send her my work, but from the interview, when she interviewed and she talked to me, and she was like, I want to do your book, you know what I mean? Because
Wow.
she, like what you said, you know, she said the same thing, like, it's good, it's inspirational, it'll help people, you know, and I see it going far and everything. And she always tell me, even today, she's like, I'm so proud of you, because I push my book a lot, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like I share a lot, and I, you know, and that's just what it's all about. You know what I
Right.
mean? So then, you know, so like if you come across a publishing company and if they like you, they like you. And if your book, they'll be able to tell if they think your book going to be good or not, because of course, you know, they got to take it through all the fine tape, and they got to take it out, and they got to make sure nobody ain't got that. You got to do a title search. You got to make sure no, you ain't, though your words are your words. Your words are authentic words. They're not somebody else's words and all that nonsense. And so, not nonsense, but you know,
Yeah.
all that different kind of stuff. And so, and then that's how it go. You know how it go. You did all that yourself, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I found an editor and I just wanted to do it myself. But tell me, how long was the process?
Well, the first book, I'm gonna tell you, that first one took a while because
Okay.
you know, it was the pandemic was still going on, and it was the first time.
Right.
But the second book, I
Mhm.
see that it's going fast. It's not
Right.
as long as
Okay.
the first one. It got easier. You know what I'm saying?
Huh.
Actually, it came up. Amazon sent me the thing to proofread it, and to get the proofreading of the second book, and I didn't even go on to do the thing, and I'm like, oh, but that's okay. So, you know, I'll get it. I'm not worrying about that. So, because pretty much she had did everything, put it all together, and I just went through the pen and all that, so it's fine. You know, it's
So you
fine.
said maybe it took from start to finish, starting writing, maybe about a year and a half, 2 years.
Well, I've been writing, like I
But I'm
told you.
saying the process of getting the publishing deal, was it about okay? I guess
No.
no, when you first came, you had something written, right? You had your material written.
Right. I was already writing, you know, and
Okay.
I had already, so no, it didn't. It took months, not years.
Okay.
Yeah, not because I had already had it written. Now this one is about me. Now
Yeah.
that's gonna take some time. I ain't even
Right.
going. I started in my head, but I
Right.
started on paper. You know, that's
Yeah.
why I said I probably invest into a Dragon Speak if they still use
Yeah.
it, and to so I can just speak it into the microphone and it can
Right.
just type it down for me. You know what I mean?
So you say maybe it took about 6 months from the time period that you bought your material, and then maybe 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, 3 to 6 months, something like that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was doing pre-sales for my book and letting
Yeah.
them know that it was coming, and you know, it was pre-selling, and I
Mhm.
pushed my book a lot myself. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Right.
I pushed it a lot, and you know, people, you know, the autograph copies, of course, come from me. And I
Right.
even did things where like people where if you go onto my website, you will see different people that purchased my book, and I
Mhm.
even hand delivered it to them or
Okay.
sent it to them, and I hand delivered it to them and took a picture with them. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like I push my own book. I push my book a lot. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So
Now,
yeah.
how did you market your book, and especially during COVID? What was your
I did it. I use Instagram,
Okay.
Facebook a lot. You know,
Yeah.
I put up stories and stuff like that and did, you know, and pushed my book like that, and pictures of people I went and took pictures with people. You know, if you look on my website, you'll see a lot of people I took pictures with my book, met them, went to their house, met them out in the street, this, that, and the other. Or I sent, or some people bought it from Amazon themselves, and I would come to their house and write in it and still took a picture with them. Or some people, I bought it from me, I autographed it, send it to them, and they took a picture of it. They had a family member or whomever took a picture of them, and they sent me the picture, and I still advertised it. You know what I mean? So I pushed myself. Yeah.
Now, what did the publishing? Did they try to do some marketing for it to get it out? I know that was beautiful what you did. But did they do some?
Yeah, they did. They
promotion?
did the markups for it. They did the markups for it. Yeah, she did. She did. She did.
Did she try to get it out to like book clubs and different things?
No, not actually. No. I like some people that I wrote people that I know, like a young lady that I grew up with. She's in charge of the book club at her church. So she said her church, she was going to put that up for one of the reads for the church. Then I went out to I was doing some line dancing, and one of the young ladies, her mother is in charge of the book club, and I was telling them that I was selling my book. So then her mother reached out to me. So now her church wants some books, you know, to put that thing and to use it. So a lot of my marketing and stuff I did, most of it, I marketed it myself. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah.
Now, did she, two things. Did they give you an advance?
No. I told you I did. I just used the publishing company to, like, I really published my own book, but I just used the publishing company to just put it together, proofread it, things like that, to tell me if the book was going to be good. So really, you could say really that I am like you. Right. You know, like I'm an independent author, and but I just use them to do, you know, things because they know more about it than me.
Okay, like, help get it together. Right. Then from there you went from there. Now, did last question on them? Did they put it in Barnes and Noble, or just you just did it from Amazon?
Just from Amazon and Kindle. Which Amazon, honestly, I will tell any writer, any author, do really try to push your book yourself, or like you said, try to get it into Barnes and Noble or other bookstores and do it yourself, because Amazon take the money like they wrote the book. Okay. You know what I mean? Like Amazon keep a lot of your royalties for your book. Right. They don't.
Now I'm just saying. So now I see the situation. Now I can talk a little bit more freely. Okay. Because it was a publishing company. I didn't want to conflict of interest. But since it's more so that you use their services to kind of put it together, I would recommend, and I'm looking at book marketing companies. Okay. And you can look them on the internet, and they can put your book in front of the right readers. And there's some even that would take it that are like in Australia, England. So it can get into the right, right readers in, let's say, the UK. Okay. Then another thing that's out there is it depends on what your book is, but I think that it could be for you as well. I've seen some publicists that actually work with Christian books or a certain type of books, and they have a network. Maybe they have interviews, or they have certain ways that they can market it and get it out. So I'm just saying there's some other ways too that can help out, just instead of just your personal push. You know what I'm saying? And get some help that way. And what I do like about the independent way is that you can get more money. Because if we really think about it, and I'm going to say this, is that it's not as easy as it sounds, but if you're selling your book for $20, and we know Amazon takes $5 for just to print it up, and another $5 for marketing, so you take 10. If you only sell, and songwrite. So it's my point is songwrite is a little bit different. You don't really get as much, but if you can sell only 10,000 books
Mhm.
times $10 a pop, you made $100,000.
Right.
Just 10,000 books.
Books. Right.
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 And if you sell 5,000 books, you just make $50,000.
Wow. Yeah.
So the thing is, I'm saying that I think for independent authors is we just need to find get companies or whatever to help us get to that mark.
Right. Right.
And then if you can make $25,000 a year or $50,000 a year, that's a good deal. We're talking about one book. One book.
Right. That's just one. So imagine what you do with two if you do them both. So yeah, that's it. And it's
10,000. I think that's achievable. 10,000 books. $100,000.
Right. And that's
I think we can do it. I think we can do it.
I think so too. And that's what God put people together for a reason.
Right. And let me. Oh boy. Okay. I saw something about another form. I'll tell you this off the air, but I'll say it this way: another kind of film form. I'm gonna say this. It's not for everybody, but this is only for book authors. You have to become book author for me to be sharing all this, but you're a book author. Okay, so a film form. These guys found out. That's what I was saying. Conferences. If you go to a conference. In their case, I don't know, they were selling stuff at but this was not a book, but it's another media product. They were selling it for $150, but this is not a book. So it would be less, but they made at one conference $70,000.
Wow.
At one conference.
Wow. So, and that's what I would love to do. Go to conference.
So I'm just thinking that the Christian conferences, you really have a really good book. So I'm just saying that's in the right. If you can get to a conference, AME conference or Baptist conference or something like that, and can get that. And by the way, they had a machine that people could swipe their credit cards at the thing, and they made $70,000.
I wish that's what because I would love to do that, and then I could speak and sell my books. I would love to do that.
And they made money speaking too. They made money like maybe $200, $500 a speaking event. So I mean, we just have to be a little creative and kind of see what's out there. And I think that your book is very appealing. It's very appealing.
Thank you.
And needed as well. So we just talk a little bit more. Tell me what do you have to say to the young people, whatever race, but in particular Black females and Black males, but white female, everybody, young people are newcomers. There's people I know 60-some years old, they just starting to do their first book. What would you say to them? People that would be interested in writing a book. What advice? As now going on your second book, you are a veteran book writer. What message would you say to them?
I would say, hold on to your dream. Don't give up and go for it.
Okay.
Go for it. Don't live your life in vain.
Right.
Don't just be another, if you got an idea that you want to read a book and you want to share, go for it.
Right.
Go for it. It doesn't matter if it land up to the air or fall down to the ground, go for it. At least you can never say you didn't try it, but go for it. Because it was God that put that in you about a book. I said that earlier, we're not the smart. I mean, I'm glad we think we're the smart ones here, but we're not the smart ones. He is. So if you got it in you to do a book and you heard do a book and you want to do a book, do your book. If you want to open up your hair salon, a bookstore, a clothing store, if you want to stand on the corner and make beats with your mouth, go for it. Do whatever it is you want to do, because this life, you only get one life to live. So live your life.
That's
live it,
true. That's
you
true. That's
know?
very inspiring. And what do you think about film and books? What do you think about marriage and that relationship to where books can go to the next level, to another level, if you will, another platform in terms of film? What do you think about that?
I think it's good because some people are visual people. Some
Right,
people don't like to sit down and read, but some people sit down and watch a movie. You
right.
know what I mean? And so I think that's good. If you take a book and turn it into a film, that's
Mhm.
good. Because like I said, some people are not visible. I mean, visual people, they don't want to sit there. They don't, I mean, are visual. Some people don't want to sit there and read a book. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Let alone write. You know,
Right.
so it's good. I think it's very good.
Do you
Mhm.
think in the future maybe, because I mean, once you get the writing bug, you get the writing bug. Are you interested in writing fiction books?
Um, yeah, I would be interested in doing that. Yes, yes. Or, you know, or yeah, I would be very interested in doing that. I would be very interested in doing it. I'd be interested in writing a song too, you know.
Okay. Do
Um,
you write song? Are you a songwriter as well?
I have wrote some things down or said some things in my head and wrote it down and like, oh, just was singing and made up a song. And I'm
Right.
like, oh, yeah, you know, yeah. So yeah. Mhm.
You got to check into that as well.
Okay, I will.
It
I will.
seems it's funny to me.
I'm
Huh?
so glad I met you though.
Yeah, I'm glad to meet you as well. You're very inspiring. But I'll just say this is that I feel like a book, I'm gonna do this right here. I feel like as a book author, you can just scratch your skin and songwriting just okay. That's another talent that you have. It's all in the same family.
Right, right,
I
right.
mean, maybe another thing that come to mind is documentary film person. Maybe you get with a person like when
Mm-hmm,
you do your story
mm-hmm.
or something. You said visual. I mean, it may not be a for the screen film, but maybe a documentary. Well, it could line if you write the book about yourself and then also in there you're using scripture in there or something like that. I don't see why it would be a bad idea to have a kind of a something that could be visual too. Maybe
Yeah,
you're reading and you're telling your story yourself, and you know what I'm saying, that could be inspiring. I mean, there's probably creative ways that would make
it
it
is.
entertaining.
It is. And then the things that I went through in my life, I mean, that got me to this point, things that I went through in my life, because my life, I mean, I've been through a lot. Things that I
Okay.
went through in my life, I could see it being a documentary. I could see it being a movie, and then how it became, how what the devil meant for bad,
Right.
God meant for my good. You know,
What was
how my lessons was really blessings. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And how God just loved my hurt away. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
I was married. I was married for 15 years. You know, that didn't pan out, but look at me now. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
like
yeah,
that. Love my. There's something that's a song title, a book title. Love God, love my hurt away.
hurt away. Yeah.
That's it. You got to write that down. There's
I
something
just
you
wrote
got
it
something
down.
there
God loved my hurt away.
that hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yep, God loved my hurt away. He sure enough did. He loved my hurt away. You know what I mean? He loved my hurt away.
And what
Cause
was
I could,
interesting too to me is that you as looking as a in myself too, looking, sometimes you can look, I mean, looking mostly as a just straight 100% black person, but then coming to find out your heritage, that your grandmother was white, and then you were able to have compassion and vision, and come to the conclusion there's good people that are white, there's bad people that are white, there's good people that are black, there's bad. How you were able to, that experience was able to show you that there's good and bad people in all groups.
it sure enough is. It sure enough is. Cause all people are not bad. You
Right.
know what I mean? All people are not bad. But there's some people out here that's rotten to the core.
That's true.
There's some people that's out here that's walking around, Eric, just dead
Right.
and too
Right.
stupid to lay down. You know, and I don't
Okay.
even like you know, because hurt people hurt people. That's
Right.
why it's so much kill. You know, I said the other day, why is everybody so angry? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Right.
they're just walking around angry. I mean, I never thought in so many years that Philadelphia would be the murder capital of the world. It seemed like it just seemed like
Wow.
people is just like they just killing people for no reason. They killing people like we drink water and juice. They
Right.
killing people like you take a shower every day,
Right.
all day. You
Right.
know, it doesn't make any sense. They so why are they so angry? And then the thing about it is this. Instead of the government officials shutting stuff, I mean, they just need to shut stuff down. Just shut it down because people is just getting away with stuff because they can wear these masks. Just shut it down.
Right.
Just shut things down. You know
Right.
what I mean? Just shut it down.
Right.
You know, they
Right.
open things up so quickly and all that stuff, but it ain't that much money in the world because
Right.
as you can see, the cases is climbing back up.
Right. Right. Right.
It's just, you know,
I think it's that the killing and all this is that really, and not to over pump your book, but people need a book like that make them think. You know, sometimes people can't think for themselves properly. So if they get a book like your book, and kind of, especially those that have been Christians, but that they wanted to go astray, that prodigal son type, but could come back and see that the answer is God. And
That's
then the
right.
same thing in terms of they want to readily and even want to get stuff open back up again, and it's not solved. The virus is not solved. They get in too caught up in too over caught up with about money and over people, and not really having a relationship with God, and not understanding that things are going to happen in God's time.
That's right.
We can try to do things fast, like God shut that down. He can shut it down again.
Yep.
He shut down one time, he can shut down again.
Yep.
And some people, you seem to be a person of vision, a person of insight. A lot of people don't have that, and writers have a tendency to be deep thinkers. That's another thing. And I'll share this story right here about Anthony Quinn, something he was saying, a famous actor from the past. He was saying that when he went to England or something, he was being taught acting, and they told him that your purpose as the artist is to get people to think. You know, like even the man that's laying bricks down, to have passion for laying bricks down or find their purpose. And that the responsibility of the say the book author or whoever, our job is to really, because we think we're very sensitive at sometimes as for us to be in the arts, and that our job is to really get people to dream and to think and see things that would make the world a better place. So I think that along with that connection with God, I think what you have, you're a deep thinker, and there's going to be a lot of people that don't think. And even your background, that God put you into a multiracial family, you're a deep thinker just because of that. And like you said, your background with your father and your mother, writers and what they do, you just have that in you. So I think that your writing, which is phenomenal, and I think that if you're able to speak and just help who you can, that's a gift from God. And you just have to realize a lot of people are just not going to be at your level mentally. And if you can help them, you know, by them getting your book, or you can speak to people in your neighborhood that will listen, that even if it's one person, you change their mind, then that's gonna help.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I definitely believe. With the last two questions, I guess, would be, what do you want for the future of the book industry? If there's anything that you want to see.
That it wouldn't be so cliquish that it would be that they give everybody a chance.
Okay.
That your book, not only should it just be on Amazon or Kindle, they should, if you write a book and Barnes and Noble know that you're an author, that they should be reaching out, well, let's put some of your books in here, you know what I mean? And things of that nature. That's what I would like to see, you know, because I got to figure out how I can get my books in here,
Right.
you know.
And tell us again, because I think it's a phenomenal book, and I sense the other books are going to be great as well. Tell us again about that book. That really hit me like a ton of bricks. Tell us the title again of this first book.
It's All My Strength Come From Above.
And just tell us the concept again, because just in case
It's
somebody see the video.
30, okay, I'm gonna put it up again. It's All My Strength Come From Above.
Right.
It's a 30-day life reflection journey, which help you get through the hard times. It help you overcome stressful times. It helps you, you know, like it got little scriptures from every Romans in here, Isaiah, Revelations, Genesis, Philippians. It's a little bit of John, Psalms, and you know, and then I just, you know, it's the intro, how I got the book, what made me want to write the book, and things like that, and different things like that that I opened up and shared about. Yeah, you can even give it to somebody as a gift, because it says this book who belongs to here. Then it got, you know, that there, tell you what it is.
And Christmas is coming.
Yep.
Christmas, it'd be a great Christmas present. Now, that second book, that'll be out before Christmas?
Yeah, it said the third one gonna be out before Christmas, because what I want to do, my idea is get a package deal. They get 3 books. So
okay.
The third book gonna be out before Christmas.
Okay.
So the first one came out in May. We in July, right?
Right.
This one coming out in July. So the third one should be out in October.
Okay.
Maybe before then. September, October. You know what I mean? Try to give them 2 months in between to get them out there. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Continue.
No, but everybody that went on they're 5-star on both. They're 5-star on Amazon. My books is 5-star.
Okay.
So yeah. So go ahead. I'm sorry. What was your question?
No, one thing I was going to say is can you tell the audience how can, if somebody's a fan, how can they contact you, and then tell them where they can get your books at as well? Okay.
So my website is Theresha.com. That's my website. And you spell that Theresha. So I'm gonna teach you how to spell my name. You'll never forget it. You spell the word there and you put SHA at the end. So it's Theresha.com. And I'm on Facebook, Theresha Roberts MHS. I'm on and then I'm on Instagram is TEE_TEE creations. And that's Instagram. And if you want the book, you just let me know. And you can get it through me. They autograph books. You get it through me. You just cash at me and I'll send you your book. Or you can get it off of Amazon and it's on Kindle. But the Kindle, you know, people like to have it on their phone or computers, whatever. But I don't know if you're able to use the journal part by typing in it. I'm not sure. So I didn't even try that, but I'm not sure.
I'm gonna put you send me before Tuesday, whatever, send me what information you want, and I will put that down in the link part so people can go, you know, to where you want them to go. Okay, fine. I'll put that down. And I just want to say I really appreciate and I want the audience to know that I ended up doing the interview before this. It went over a lot, but I really want to show that this woman is definitely a Christian. She was so nice and so pleasant and understanding. And she was, you know, and then from that end, and then just a great interview. And I think a great inspiration to Black women all over the world and to America. Definitely a great American citizen and great American author. We really appreciate your time, and you keep doing the work that you're doing. Definitely, let's stay in contact. If I hear anything that's good for you, I'm there for you, and I
Thank you.
really appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you, Eric. What's the name of your book?
I'll tell y'all offshore. It's a kind of a political book. I'll tell y'all.
Okay.
I got a second book that's going to come out. That's called it maybe sometime before the end of the year, called America We Won.
Okay.
The first book is kind of controversial because it's left leaning.
Okay.
So, but I'll tell you off screen.
Okay.
But the first book, the second book that will be coming out is called America We Won, and it's talking about politics and that.
Okay.
Due to the election, we were able, everybody came out and kind of saved the country at this point so far.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay.
Okay, but thanks for coming on. And when your next book come out, if you want to, we definitely would like to have you back on again. You definitely are a role model and an inspiration.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to end the interview and I'll just talk to y'all screen.
Okay.
So I just go get her book and be on the lookout for new materials. And these are the type of book authors we need, and she's very inspirational and great. Thank you.